The Pixel and Pixel XL are Google's first smartphones designed entirely by Google, and in this video series I'll show you 100 reasons why the Pixel and Pixel XL are awesome. However, since this is stock Android, many other Android phones may already have a handful of these features, so you can really consider this a series about why Android in general is awesome. By popular demand, I've split this video series up into 4 videos, each covering 25 features. That'll keep the videos much shorter and allow you to discover all of the features in more manageable chunks. In the upper right corner, you'll see a number associated with every feature. If you want to learn more about any particular feature, write that number down, then head over to www.techisode.tv to see a numbered guide that goes more in depth on how to enable all of these features. Let's start with the elephant in the room, the headphone jack. It still has one, it's just at the top instead of the bottom. You can double tap the Recent Apps button to quickly switch between your 2 most recent apps. You can long press the Recent Apps button for multi-window, which allows you to have 2 resizable apps open at the same time. If you press the Home button while in multi-window, you can navigate to a different app, then open it right into multi-window. To get out of this mode, just long press the Recent Apps button again. You can also drag text from one app to another in multi-window. However, this only works in a handful of apps. The most useful case is probably dragging text from the Chrome browser to a text message. If you long press on an app, you get 3D touch-like shortcuts. These shortcuts will perform app-specific actions that can save you a considerable amount of time. You can also long press on a shortcut to turn it into a permanent shortcut on your home screen. You can swipe down from the top of the screen twice with 1 finger or once with 2 fingers to reveal a bunch of toggles. These can be reordered however you want, and if you long press them, you'll go directly to the settings for that toggle. You can have multiple accounts, which is super handy if you want to have one account for work and another account for your personal life. This way, you won't be bugged by social media notifications while you're at work, and you won't be bugged by work emails when you're home. There's also a guest account which you can use when a friend needs to make a quick phone call, or just look something up on the internet and you don't want them getting into your messages or photos. If they want to, they can even log into their own email, download apps, and more. Then, when they're done, they can quickly delete everything in the guest account so you can't access their email after the fact. And rest assured, even if they try to switch back to your account, they'll still need your password or fingerprint to get past the lock screen. Surprise! It has a hidden notification light in the top speaker. To turn it on, go to Settings, Notifications, tap the Settings gear, then tap Pulse Notification Light. It's been rated by many as having one of the best cameras on a smartphone. Head over to www.techisode.tv to see some full-res sample photos. You can take several different types of panorama photos. There's a standard panorama that pans horizontally all the way up to 360 degrees, a vertical panorama that can also pan 360 degrees vertically, a large square photo option, and a pretty cool sphere option that wraps the edges of a squarish panorama photo to make a neat sphere-shaped picture. It has nightlight mode, which makes the screen easier on your eyes at night by removing a lot of the blue color from the screen. It has a customizable Do Not Disturb mode that allows you to select between Total Silence, which even silences alarms, Alarms Only, which will silence everything except alarms, and Priority Only, which will allow your choice of reminders, events, messages from select people, calls from select people, or even repeat callers to get through. The Repeat Callers option is especially useful if there's an emergency and someone really needs to get in touch with you. You can choose to keep Do Not Disturb mode on until you manually turn it off, have it turn off automatically when your next alarm goes off, which is great for when you go to sleep, and my personal favorite of turning it on for a set amount of time. This is great for having dinner with your family or going out to a movie and you don't want Twitter and Facebook notifications bugging you in your pocket. There are also a couple global settings that affect every Do Not Disturb mode. These include blocking visual disturbances like pop-up notifications when the screen is on, stopping notifications from turning the screen on at all, and stopping the notification light from pulsing. There are even automatic rules that can turn on Do Not Disturb mode automatically based on time or events. The time option is pretty self-explanatory, and the event option will silence your phone during meetings you have in whichever calendar you want. And if you only want to silence your phone during meetings that you replied yes to, you can do that too. Lastly, you can set which type of Do Not Disturb mode you want to turn on during those meetings. A small swipe across a notification reveals quick settings that allow you to make notifications from that app show up silently and without pop-ups. You can also disable the app's notifications altogether, keep the notifications, or change more advanced notification settings like hiding sensitive notification content on the lock screen and giving the app permission to have its notifications override your Do Not Disturb settings. You can swipe down on Gmail notifications to show more emails, then swipe on individual emails to show more of that email and either reply to that specific email or delete it. This is great for quickly getting rid of junk mail. By default, your option will be to archive the email instead of delete it. To change this, open Gmail, go to Settings, General Settings, then change the Gmail default action to Delete. It has a streamlined app drawer that you can get to with a single swipe up from your home screen. You can then scroll along the edge to quickly navigate through your apps, or use the search bar at the top to search for a specific app. And if it turns out you don't have that app installed, you can just tap Search for More Apps, and you'll be taken to search results for that app in the Google Play Store. You can quickly set up goals in the calendar. These can be goals to exercise more, learn a new skill, spend more time with family, spend more time for yourself, or get more organized. All of these are fully customizable and will dynamically change to fit your schedule. This makes planning things much easier because Google will help you find out what the best time is for you to tackle the different tasks. When you tap to share something, you'll get a list of direct share options that allow you to quickly share things with specific people using different apps. These change dynamically based on which apps you've had open recently and which contacts you've communicated with recently. You can search for specific people, things, places, scenes, events, and more in the Photos app. This makes it much easier to find that obscure photo from 4 months ago that you want to show someone. It has secure app pinning, which locks the user into a specific app and sends them back to the lock screen when they try to leave that app. This is handy if your friend needs to make a quick phone call or your child wants to play a game and you don't want them messing around in any other part of your phone. If you tap the Cell Service Quick toggle, you can quickly see how much data you've used for the month and shut it off if you're getting too close to your limit. If you'd rather not shut it off, you can turn on Data Saver, which stops apps from using data in the background. If you dive a little deeper into the settings, you can set a customizable warning limit that will notify you when you're getting close to your limit. And if you really don't want to worry about it, you can even set a hard data limit that will shut your data off when you reach that limit. The app drawer shows your top 5 most frequently used apps at the top, which change dynamically as you use different apps more or less. You get software updates directly from Google the day they're released, regardless of which carrier you're using. No more having to wait for half a year just to get the latest version of Android on your phone. The keyboard has a handful of cool features. If you swipe across the spacebar, you can scroll through your text. If you swipe to the left from the back button, you can delete groups of words. If you tap the emoji option while sending a text, a GIF option will appear to the right of the spacebar. If you highlight a word, then tap the Shift key, it will toggle through capitalization options. And if you long press the comma, then swipe to the hand symbol, you'll get a smaller keyboard, which is great if you have small hands or if you're using the Pixel XL. You can pin specific share options to the top of the list by long pressing on an option, then tapping Pin. You can take burst photos in the camera app by holding down either the shutter button or the volume button. When you go to review your pictures, they will all be saved in a single image slot that allows you to scroll through the photos without having them obnoxiously filling your gallery. Google will even select what it thinks is the best photo by putting a small white dot above its choice. You can then save a single photo from the burst and quickly delete the rest. Google will also automatically create an animation from the burst of photos. Alternatively, you can create your own animation from the photos. Like the video if you liked it, share it if you loved it, and be sure to subscribe to see the rest of the top 100 features, as well as my Samsung Gear S3 review, and maybe even a Daydream VR review. That's it for this episode, guys. I'll see you in the next one.